I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest.
So I have a little bit of credit card debt, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I moved to Nashville, Tennessee with not really that much money, and then I decided to fully furnish my bedroom.
The moment you've been waiting for, my credit card debt. I have 3 credit cards, one of which is my Apple credit card that I opened up when I got my MacBook. It's just another bill. That, no worries. Then I have my first credit card I ever had. It's literally not where my debt is. I opened up a new credit card from my friend's referral. I spent $5,000 in 3 months.
My heart is beating 1,000,000 miles per hour, and I'm shaking because I'm about to share with the world how much debt I am in.
Welcome back to Diary of Jen. Today we are covering yet another insane debt video. I might actually make this a series because there is so many.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper. Debts include 2 private student loans, 10 federal student loans, 1 auto loan, 1 private loan, and 13 credit cards. I've already taken some drastic measures to reduce spending and start side hustling. I started posting my debt payoff journey here on TikTok in hopes of growing and getting into the creator fund. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and following. I'm selling my debt tracking template, I'm door dashing, donating plasma, selling items around the house, and doing TikTok shop to try and make a dent. I made some really good progress so far thanks to an annual bonus I got from my 9-to-5 job, but I've got a long way to go. I've been able to negotiate most of my interest rates on my credit cards down with the help of a debt management plan, but the interest on my student loans is wild. My 2 private student loans have interest rates of 12.75% and 8.9%, while my federal loans range from 5.8 to 6.6%. The private student loans are from my undergraduate degree, which I earned over 15 years ago. I would probably puke if I knew how much I had already paid. And to this day, I think about all the frivolous things I bought and did when I was in my teens and 20s with this money, and wow, if I would have known I would be paying for tank tops and fun nights out at bars 1,000 times over the next 15 years, I might have made some different choices. Even though I've already paid off about $31,000 of debt so far this year, I'm still not looking at being debt-free until 2040. I honestly cannot imagine another 15 years of paying on this debt, especially with so many other life milestones I want to achieve, like buying a house and having kids. I also just got engaged, and it truly makes me sick thinking about how I am bringing more than $150,000 of debt into our marriage starting out. This is not a video to complain by any means because these were my own choices and I'm working to pay back what I owe, but I hope sharing this can resonate with others.
I think firstly, it's really great that this individual has sat down and gone, okay, let's have a look at this because something isn't right here. It would be really interesting. There was so many loans around that she mentioned, credit cards, just so much stuff. And I think it's so easy to just tap a card. It's so easy to just say yes, yes, yes to all these things. But honestly, financial literacy is something I have really, in terms of being important, I think it's really, really up there. One of the main topics of divorces is usually around finances. I'd be so hesitant about marrying a partner who is carrying $150,000 plus worth of debt, because I think it depends, but it can also become your debt once you get married, I think. Don't quote me on that. But to take that on would be a lot. People like to just live in the moment, but I think we need to be very conscious of what we're doing in the present so our future self can enjoy things and not feel overly stressed about money. I think it's great. She's trying to do multiple things to get this debt down, which is, I think she mentioned DoorDash, trying to get on the TikTok Creator Fund. I wish we had that in Australia. Not that I have enough followers, but if we did, I would probably be more open to TikTok. But at the moment, I just kind of do it for shits and gigs because why not? Seriously, I just think that is so much debt. That's probably one of the highest amounts that I have ever seen or heard of. And mind you, it's probably in USD, again, a lot more in AD. We are so very close to 500 subs. If you haven't joined the fam already, we would love to have you here.
My heart is beating a million miles per hour and I'm shaking because I'm about to share with the world how much debt I am in. So get ready. Before I tell you the total amount, I want to preface this by saying I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm really not even looking for advice. I'm not looking for your opinions. There's nothing that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. This is 13 years worth of really bad financial decisions, being irresponsible, really bad mental health episodes. There is no excuse for it. I have been praying and I've been asking God to lift this off of my shoulders and to help me find a way to take care of this and to get ourselves out of debt, so that I can stop saying things to my kids like, we can't afford that. This debt is spread out over 11 credit cards. This is just credit card debt. We have payments on these credit cards ranging from $30 all the way up to $620, which is why we are barely making it paycheck to paycheck, because all of our money is going to credit card payments. Like, I'm going to throw up. I'm ready to share my truth. I'm ready to share my story, to figure this out. Whether it takes a year or 10 years to get it paid off, I'm gonna take you guys through all of it, through the ups and the downs, hard times, the good times, and the amount of credit card debt that I am in. $88,811. Okay, I'm going to go throw up and probably not show my face on this app for the rest of the day, because I can't believe I'm admitting this.
That is true. When you admit something openly like that to the internet, you open the comment section for a lot of people to state their opinions, and sometimes they're not very nice. And unfortunately, when you do vocalize something online, people will always have an opinion. Sometimes they don't always agree with you, and it can get a little bit messy. Now, that is 11 cards and $88,000 or so in debt. And mind you, having kids on top of that would be, oh my goodness, kids are so expensive. We all know this, but I can see why this individual feels sick about it, because it is so much, and the interest that they charge on top makes me also feel sick.
Moment you've been waiting for, my credit card debt. I have 3 credit cards, one of which is my Apple credit card that I opened up when I got my MacBook. It's just another bill. That, no worries. Then I have my first credit card I ever had. It's literally not where my debt is. I opened up a new credit card from my friend's referral. I spent $5,000 in 3 months. Then we both got an extra 100,000 points. But this credit card translates to $1,000. So in my head, I said, oh my God, this is girl math. I want to upgrade my flight to first class, so it'll basically be free with these points. Okay, cool. So I girl math that, but then I'm like, oh shit, I have to spend $5,000. Fast forward, the 3 months ends in July. However, I spent the $5,000 within like the first month. Okay, so Girly Pop has the points, and this isn't even that bad, but it's bad for me because, like I said in my previous video, I treat my credit cards like debit cards. So if I don't have the money, I'm not buying it. But this was an exception. I'm 30 years old now. I went on a trip to Greece, whatever. The debt on this credit card is $3,540.23. I already paid off a couple of grand before my credit card statement was due, June 15th. So I already paid off, I think it was like $2,600. For that big chunk, I did take it out of my savings because my savings is big enough where I don't have to worry. And I just wanted to make sure that my statement was paid off by the due date. So I had no interest accruing that I would have to pay for in the next statement. Does that make sense? My current balance is $3,540.23. I have currently, that's going to be applied to my next statement, 112,460 points, which translates to $1,124.60. So I subtract that from my balance. With the points applied, I will owe $2,415.63. I have been saving cash outside of my Unbreakable piggy bank, knowing that I was going to Greece and I needed a backup stash of cash just in case. So for that, I have $1,400. I'm going to deposit that into my account, and pay off some credit card debt. With that applied, I will owe $1,015.63. Now, my next credit card statement is due in 4 weeks. So if you divide that $1,015 by 4 weeks, it's going to be about $253 a week that I have to make sure that I can either pay off weekly, or in my head, I just have to think, okay, cool, $250 a week, I can do that. I have some money coming in. I sold some things on Poshmark. I did some TikTok shop, but stay tuned for how I'm going to pay off this credit card. I do my Finance Friday videos. I'm going to tell you what I make, how much I'm putting aside for this credit card bill, and how we're going to attack it. But I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that you're normal, and normal people have debt, but it's just about how you handle it mentally and like how you're going to plan for your future self. Okay, cool. I hope this maybe helped you in some way, even though I was just talking about myself. Love you. Bye.
I do think there's quite a few people who are in debt and try and act like they don't. But I also think it is a little bit dangerous if we're going to try and normalize being in debt, because I don't think that should be. I think it's interesting because this next video we're going to watch kind of goes into this a bit more as to what I'm trying to communicate. But when you see something over and over and over, you start to normalize this. And I've said this before because it's true. If you see someone, let's just, for example, say you had 3 friends and they had each $1,000 worth of credit card debt. You would most likely normalize that because the people around you have showed you that that's possible. When you do see something and you're exposed to something so often, you do kind of in your head start to normalize this. I do also think it's very cheeky when these companies offer these bonuses for extra points if you spend X amount of money within a time frame, because obviously people look at it and go, oh, free money, yet you still have to spend that money, right? So they just get ahead of themselves and then all of a sudden they owe $3,000, $5,000 and they have to pay for it. And if they don't pay for it by the due date, then they will start to accrue interest, and that is not fun. So I think it's always interesting. You definitely need to be good with your money if you're going to get things such as credit cards, because they can be very sneaky and they will get you if you're not conscious of what you're doing, unfortunately.
So I have a little bit of credit card debt, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I moved to Nashville, Tennessee with not really that much money, and then I decided to fully furnish my bedroom. But I will say something I've learned over the past couple of months is that a lot of my friends also do too. And it's very comforting in a way. Like, not that I'm proud of my friends for having credit card debt, but I'm just like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. Because at the end of the day, we're all just in our 20s trying to figure out how the fuck to live in a freaking universe where rent is like $1,500. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And then our parents are like, why are you in so much credit card debt? I'm sorry that rent isn't $400 like it was when you were 25. But yeah, if anyone is like down on themselves for having credit card debt, same. Like, God forbid I decided to fully furnish my bedroom and then buy a lot of clothes for myself and go out on the weekends, because at the end of the day, my hobby is going out and socializing. My hobby is hanging out with my friends. And one of my friends did point out the fact that like my credit card debt is not just like represented by the fact that I spent money on stupid shit. It's you did a lot with that money. You know, you fully furnished your bedroom, you moved to a new city with it, you met a whole bunch of people because of it. You know, I didn't meet these friends by going to the park and taking a walk. No, I met these friends by going out and going to get drinks and going to happy hour and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is your sign. Well, it's not a sign actually, but if anyone like hates themselves because of their credit card debt, just know that we're right there with you.
This exactly leads into what I was saying. When you have people around you, your friends, blah, 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 and they are enabling this behavior and saying, oh, but you did X, Y, and Z and you met these people, it might be true. But if you have people in your ear always saying like, oh, it's okay because X, Y, and Z, there's no accountability. Or there is accountability, but it's, you acknowledge, yes, this is costing me money. Yes, I'm in debt, but yes, it's okay because I'm getting more friends out of this, or I'm having a good time. And I'm not the Grinch. I'm not here to say, oh, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. But I think there needs to be a point where we go, I'm in debt. Yes, it would be nice to go out. Should I? If you imagine, let's say her friend said, oh, actually, you should be a little bit more cautious about this because now you are in this amount of debt. Whereas her friend was saying, oh, look what you've got out of this. Look at the opportunities. Look at the friends that you've made. Like, you wouldn't have done that without the money. And yes, that might be true, but you are still in debt. Like, everything aside, you are still in debt and now you have to pay this back. And I will also add, some of the comments on this video is diabolical. So let's have a look at some of them. So this person comments $1,500. That's it. That's it. What do you mean? Like, that is a lot of money. And yes, I've heard of other people having thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of debt. That's still money that you owe. That could accumulate interest if you don't pay it. Like, crazy. This other person said, I just pretend it's not there. Yep. As long as I pay some and my credit stays the same, I'm not worried. I use mine to move as well. I just pretend it's not there. That's a really good. Yeah. Another comment the girl made was, I used it to move and furnish my room. Can I just say, because I don't know, if she furnished her room with brand new furniture and really expensive stuff, I just think, why? Sometimes, and I will admit, it's nice to buy things brand new. There's certain things that you just wouldn't get secondhand. But there's also a lot of things you can get secondhand and for really good prices. My partner and I have got some insane deals from like Facebook Buy Swap Sell. There's Gumtree as well. I don't know if that's just Australian, but I do use that sometimes. And honestly, the deals you can get on there is so good. You could save yourself hundreds of dollars. Like, amazing. And with moving, like, if you knew you were moving, it would have been great to have like a savings or something, some sort of buffer to help you move and not feel like you have to put it on a credit card or other forms of payment because you don't have that money at the minute. And this other person commented, girl, I got 20K, don't worry. Do you see what I'm saying? People commenting these things online and like normalizing that, like, oh, it's okay, I have this debt too. Oh, it's all right, I have this debt too. And it's like, oh my gosh. Yes, a lot of people are in debt, but I just think that it's insane that we are just trying to enable the behavior or kind of go, oh, well, you only have 1,000 and I have 5,000. Like, this is the whole thing of just because someone's debt is less than yours doesn't mean or take away from the fact that it's still debt. You still owe money, and it doesn't matter how much, it's debt. Comment below, let me know what you think, and if you've been in a similar situation and you're comfortable to share. Thank you so much for watching and being here today. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't subbed to the fam, we would love to have you here. We are this close to our 500 sub goal, and I'm so excited to finally hit that because I think it means I can make like community posts where you can see it and react. That would be so fun. Like, are you joking? I will see you next time. Have an amazing rest of your day or night.